Welcome to CFL SMS Solutions messaging platform. Today I'm going to give you an overview demonstration to assist you in getting started if you're new to the platform. So by now you will have obviously created an account and possibly logged in for your first time and probably a little bit of a look around already. So today I'm just going to give an indication and assistance on how to start and some of the basics and share a bit of good practice with you. So when you log in, across the top you get an indication how many credits you have available to you. Something to bear in mind when you're planning your campaigns is, how many people you're actually looking to contact out and making sure you have enough credits available to facilitate that. One SMS is 160 characters and an SMS in our world is a credit. So if you need to top up on those, then contact CFL directly to buy some more and top up your account. So across the top we have dashboard, send, receive, contacts, mobile pages, ticketing, surveys, and these are the functionalities that are available to you within the platform. If you're a standard user, you will have on your dashboard send, receive, contacts, reports and settings, as well as other functionality around here. If you want to upgrade, you can upgrade to another package which gives you mobile pages, ticketing and surveys. For the sake of this demonstration, we're not going to go through how to create different campaigns using these toolkits. We'll cover those off in a separate session. So let's dive in. So straight away what you want to be able to do is actually move your contact base that you're looking to create a campaign to and put it onto the platform. So we go to click on contact. So you can see already you have contact groups, single contact, opt in, opt out, create group, search and replace. So first we're going to do is create a group. So you give that a relevant name. For the purpose of the demonstration, I'm going to call it test. In this case, test 3, create group. So once you have a group, there's 3 ways you can actually add your data. You can either add it, paste it or upload it. The most common way of adding data generally is using a CSV file, which is the easiest by far of uploading. If you've got like 100 contact details or 100,000 contact details, and they're readily available within a CSV file, you can basically upload the file direct into the platform and it will populate your contact group automatically, so you don't need to spend all your time just typing in details. The other option is you can add singular, so I'm just going to put my mobile number in there. You then have 5 fields that you can populate. First name, pretty much self-explanatory. Second name, the same. Custom fields are used for anything you feel is likely to be relevant for that contact group. So if you're a service garage, for argument's sake, you might want to put a custom one, the MOT due date, or the registration number, or you might want to put in there the service date, or these could be additional information like if you're organising appointments for people and you want to confirm their appointment, you could use the custom fields for appointment dates and times and that kind of thing, or you might want to store in there an email address. So these are anything that you feel is relevant for that particular custom group. So once I've added the details in there, I'd literally add contact. So within a couple of minutes, very easy, I've created my first group with my first piece of data in it. So next stage is, right, I'm going to actually send my group a message. So you click on send message, funnily enough. This opens up a new dialog page, and over when you look at the section 2, first thing I'm going to do, make sure we've clicked on and selected the right groups that we want to mark into. In this case I've selected test 3. Obviously there's only one contact detail in there at the moment, but if you have more than that you can actually expand into that, and you would select or deselect if certain people you think actually I don't need to send them within this group, I don't need to send that person or them people this particular message. When we move across to message detail, you have a choice in terms of how that message presents itself on the mobile phone of the people you send it to. One of the choices is using a sender name. As you can see, we've got ours set up as CFL demo. It's very easy to add a sender. Click on add sender. So I could put, I don't know, test 3. Obviously you want to choose something that's relevant. But what that means is once I actually send out the campaign, it will present itself from the sender name on my phone as test 3 or whatever I've decided to call that. The alternate way we can do that is using what's called a simple reply service. Now, simple reply service is we have a batch of around about 20 mobile numbers, for want of a better word, but the data are only mobile numbers, and this enables the person receiving the text to have a two-way conversation back with us if that's what we're looking for. So you might be using it for a customer service type of engagement, or you might want to be able to pick information straight back off the person that you're speaking to in terms of times and dates and any other relevant information you require. So a simple reply service would actually present what would look like a mobile phone number onto the recipient's handset. They then can reply directly to that, and the message comes back into the system, is recorded, and then would fire an email or some response to myself or the administrator to say that I've had a reply from that person, and then we're able to actually reply back to that, and you're creating a two-way conversation. You can also buy what's called a dedicated number. So if you imagine with simple reply service, we have a batch of 20 numbers that are floating numbers. So you might reply to the number that's presented itself on your phone, but when I reply back into the system, because of how the numbers are selected, it might just choose the next one along if one's already been used for a messaging campaign. So the number then would present itself as a different number when it lands on your handset. It's a quick and easy and sort of more cheaper way of delivering a two-way conversation. Whereas you can buy a dedicated inbound number, which means that you would own a data mobile number, for want of a better word, that sits within the platform. And when you have conversations using the reply service for a dedicated inbound number, that number will always be the same all the time for two-way conversation. So what will happen in that case is that the recipients will actually end up saving that number within their phone as, CFL or whatever. So when you respond and reply back, it's always the same number that comes in. So you have a choice in terms of how you want the number presented. We're going to dive straight into creating a message. As we said, SMS is 160 characters. So I'm going to put hi. We then use insert merge fields. So if imagine I've got a contact base of 100,000 people or 100 people, and I want to send them and personalise that message specifically, I don't need to type every name individually. I can use the merge fields to add in the first name tag. So within my database, I'll have 100,000 people, make sure I've got all the relevant details in the first name, etc., and it will automatically mail merge that. I'm going to keep this very short and sweet, but obviously you would need to consider put some thought into what message you want to go out there. Now, because we've got 160 characters to play with in a standard credit, you can actually use as many credits as you want to write a really long text message if you so desire. But we have built in a load of functionality within the platform which makes it dead easy to create and attach documents and send that to your campaign list. So you can actually send anything from a PDF or a link to a video or a link to a website, and it makes it the most effective way of putting media into the hands of people who want to see it. Now, as a standard account, you will have the attachment tool and the short link tool. The attachment tool opens up when you click on it to your own file manager. So you'll have your own space on there which you can upload your documents. Now I've got a few things on here purely for demonstration purposes, but as you can tell, I could upload to this file area everything from ABI's documents, docx, MIDI, MPEGs, etc, etc, etc. And the dot would be contained within this file management process. When I come to send a message out, I would just click on the relevant document or information I want to send, click on insert file, and what it does, it creates a nice short link within the body of the text that when this arrives on your mobile phone, people can just click on that and it takes them straight to that piece of media. And it makes it dead easy to, like I said, send everything for. You might want to send an invoice out or a piece of marketing material or your marketing brochure or any of those kind of relevant pieces of information. And rather than going into using up all your character set, you've created that in a rich environment just using the other tools. The other tools you've got is the short link. So if you're wanting to add a link to a website, we're going to use CFL Limited here by way of an example. Again, I can choose the website that I want to send, I can add a new link and then just browse to the one I want using something like Google or my relevant browser, choose it and then add it in. So already I've created two separate pieces of interaction within the same text message. I'm happy with that. The next thing you've got a choice of doing is, when do you want this message on this campaign to go out? Is it time dependent? Is it the kind of thing that you know by looking at your your customer base and your analytics that you know that your customers are very receptive to receiving marketing information at certain times during their day, and that could be in an afternoon if the business to business, or it could be early evening when people have got settled, have had the teas, maybe the kids are in bed, and the times between 9 and 10 are the best time to engage with somebody. So you can actually schedule when you want your campaign to go out, and you can schedule it by date and by time, and you can actually schedule these up to 12 months in advance. So I'll give you an example of the garage example again is a garage will have people that are booking their services at pretty much regular times of the year, and then MOTs at regular times of the year. So you can pre-plan your next 12 months worth of services and MOTs engagement up to 12 months in advance, so you can set a time and a date for the 1st of January or the 1st of February, etc, etc, to market to those particular individuals that are due that month, and they'll receive a text reminder of the MOT, and on the back of that there'll be a call to action to call and get things booked in. Now, in order to remain as compliant as we can be in this day of GDPR, we automatically have the choice of including opt-out messages. Now, this is a very good idea if it's the first time you're actually engaging with your opted-in customer base anyway. You might be already sending them emails and doing some other marketing. If it's the first time you're actually engaging with them using SMS, I always recommend that you include an opt-out option as well. So that will actually populate into the body of the text, and when that person receives that text, if they don't want to receive any further SMS from yourselves, they can opt out, and the platform will automatically recognise that that person has opted out of any future marketing, and it will remove that person from the contact base that they're in, and it will put them into a contact group called opt-out, and that happens automatically. Now, having a good opt-out policy is really, really good, because at the end of the day you only want to be messaging and engaging with customers that want to receive your messaging and engagement as well. It's better for your brand, and you get even a higher response with talking to people that are expecting to receive messages from yourselves. So we're going to include that. So we're happy with the text. We're just going to click send message. Okay, so what we get now that we're ready to send the message, we've clicked on send message, and it's brought up this dialog box, which just gives me a chance to check that everything is okay with the message. As you can see, it's populated my name from the contact group. Everything looks okay. I'm using 1 credit, so I can keep an eye on, in terms of what the cost, the cost implication is, and I'm going to click send message. So that's now come out of the platform, and it's winging its way to my mobile phone. Okay, so that's how you create and send messages. So how do we receive messages? One of the most powerful things you can obtain for your business is something called a keyword. A keyword enables you to engage with customers that might not have engaged with you previously in the past. So it's a great way of generating new business and new customer opportunities. Now, a keyword, just by way of an example, we have one here set up for the business, which is CFL print. So people can text in CFL print to 60777. Now, these aren't premium rate messages that it's not going to cost you £2 to do that. The rate for the individual texting in is whatever their standard rate is on their particular contract that they're on, typically between 8 and 10 pence to do that. Now, on the back of somebody texting in against one of your keywords, that does one of two things. Firstly, it collects their mobile number and it stores that into a group that you decided you want to capture that information. So within Add Sender Group to List, within the settings, we've got it set as CFL accounts, but you can create whatever group you want for that person to come in. But they would receive an automatic message once they've actually texted into that keyword, and that message can be whatever you want, whatever customer journey you feel is relevant for the campaigns that you're running. So let's say, for argument, you're a restaurant and you want somebody to text in curry because you're trying to increase your footfall on maybe a Tuesday and Wednesday night, so you can text into curry, and on the back of that you can create a particular offer for those nights. Call in, book a table for Tuesday or Wednesday night and receive a bottle of wine free, or have a 2-for-1 offer, or 20% off your bill, however you want that to look. And it's a great way of interacting with new customers and passing trade and giving them the opportunity to actually generate good footfall for your business. You would actually set up the automated response the same way you do for any other kind of messaging that you're sending out, but you would pre-plan this in advance. So you would have a pre-planned campaign already aligned to whatever footfall you're trying to generate against whatever keyword you've created. So in this case, I have links to like the website, etc., and to contact information. So somebody texts in on that and they receive a message back saying thank you for contacting us, have a look at the website or give us a call. Very straightforward. But the campaign can be as rich as and engaged as you want, depending on what you're looking to achieve. Now when somebody texts back in as well, I would also get an email confirmation telling me that somebody's texted into the platform against that particular keyword of CFL print, and then I can dive in and see what number one likes and have some sort of follow-up campaign as well. You can also schedule a further auto response. I'm not going to click on that now, but basically on the back of them receiving the initial message, you can schedule a follow-up message that happens within a couple of minutes, within an hour, within 24 hours, which could be along the lines of a customer survey. So if somebody's booked into your restaurant and they've had a great meal, you can, within the platform, you've already set it up for them to have a customer satisfaction survey sent to them maybe a day later, in which case they can fill in a form and say, how did you find the restaurant, did we look after you, and maybe in the back of filling that in, you can then create a further discount voucher next time you come and visit. Thank you for your feedback, here's another 10% off your bill. However you want that to look like, it's all about being creative in terms of the customer journeys that you're looking to create. So keywords are very important for doing a lot of your marketing and your outreach to new businesses in an automatic and professional format. So where the time tends to be spent is not so much in creating the campaigns, because the platform is very straightforward to use. It's just putting a little bit of thought in terms of what you want that media to look like. So that gives you a quick overview of how you can use inboxes to create new business and new footfall opportunities. Okay, the other thing I'm going to briefly touch on is reporting. Because everything we do can be tracked, we can actually delve in and check on our campaigns and see how effective they have been, and you can do that via date. You can also do that via whether it's single messages you've sent out, group messages you've sent out, any emails to SMSs you might have used, your short links, which is your things like your text to career or CFL print or whatever your keywords look like. So that gives you a very brief overview of how the platform works and a quick and easy way just to get you started using it. There's going to be further videos available which will go into some of the more kind of deeper customer journeys that you can offer, which is things like using mobile pages, the ticketing functionality, surveys, and how that can all work together across the platform to create some very engaging and rich. So hopefully you've enjoyed your brief overview of the platform. If you have any questions, there's contact details at the end of this video.